You look at the history of man. You want to look at the history of man across the board, and it is a study in the decline and the degradation of man. I don't care which society. Wherever there's a society that pushes out God, they begin a slow downward spiral to their destruction. You can go back to Egypt. You can go back to Assyria. You can go to Babylon. You can go to Greece. You can go to Rome. Everyone. You could go to Europe. And by the way, can we go to America and see this? You push God out. And you go following your own inventions, your own intelligence. We're smarter than God. We've figured it out. That path never leads to holiness, and it never leads to a better culture. It leads to all kinds of barbarianism, and in fact, we're going to see it more vividly pictured next week in our text. So they don't honor God. They became futile in their speculations, and what does it say? And their foolish hearts were darkened. Their foolish hearts were darkened. This is a sad picture. So they don't honor God, don't want anything to do with you. They speculate, it's all futile. And then God, the picture here is God just turns out the lights. That the soul that rejects God becomes a dark soul. There's darkness. Jesus is the light of the world. You want to have purpose, you want to have hope, you want to have a light and a life in your life, trust in Jesus, trust in the hope of Christ. But if you reject Christ, if you reject God, there's only darkness. In fact, you remember Jesus, he said, if the light within him becomes darkness, how great the darkness. When you reject God, everything goes dark. And our world is full of darkness. And in darkness, imagine this, it's a little more difficult in this room in the venue service, but if you go over to the main sanctuary, if you turn off all the lights in that main sanctuary, it becomes a very scary place. Because, there's really no external light. And that room goes completely dark. You can barely see your hand in front of your face. Imagine if the main sanctuary, if that room was completely full, and all of a sudden, Pastor Bill went to the back and flipped off all the lights and said, everybody head to their doors. What would happen? Folks, we ain't got enough insurance. You guys would kill each other. You would trample each other. You'd hit each other. You'd hurt yourselves. You'd hurt other people. Is that not a description of our world? It's just darkness, and people are hurting themselves, and they're hurting each other because they don't have the light of God and the light of Christ in His Word. Your Word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path.